Today we're going to take a look at the Nexus Power Station. The Nexus Power Station is a 3,000 watt inverter. That means it takes the power of the Ego Power Plus batteries and converts it into usable AC power for household appliances, power tools, and things of that nature. Now you'll hear some people refer to this as an Ego generator. It is not a generator. A generator uses the rotating of a shaft, whether it's a crankshaft or PTO shaft, whatever, to spin a rotor inside the generator, which generates electricity, hence the name of generator. This is taking the 56 volt power from the lithium ion batteries and inverting it and creating 120 volts AC. Just like an inverter you would plug into the cigarette lighter in your car or hook up to a battery, a 12 volt battery, and make AC to power some appliances or something. That is what this is doing, just on a little bit bigger scale. So here's some of the important features of the Ego Nexus Power Station. It's got water resistant construction, 3,000 watt peak output, 2,000 watt continuous power output, LED display. It has 4 USB ports, 3 120 volt AC outlets, Bluetooth pairing and Wi-Fi pairing capability, robust steel handles, and it can charge up to 4 Ego Power Plus batteries, whether it's 2.0, 2.5, 4.0, 5.0, 7.5. It can charge them all. 4 of them at a time, 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, however you want to do it. Now you can buy the Ego Nexus Power Station in a kit with 2 7.5 amp hour batteries, or you can buy it as a bare tool with no batteries and use the batteries you already have, or purchase batteries separate, however you want to do it. It can use any size of the Ego Power Plus batteries to create AC power. This is the charger that comes with the Ego Nexus Power Station. As we said, you can charge up to 4 batteries with this at one time. That's when it's not in use, you plug this in and it keeps the batteries up to full charge, so it's ready to go when you need to use it. Now, this isn't going to charge a battery as fast as a rapid charger from a self-propelled mower. It charges them nice and slow and evenly, but we'll get into more of that later on. As you can see, the transformer from the charger attaches right to the top of the power station. It fastens in there with some Velcro straps, and the cord is conveniently stored away in a compartment underneath where the transformer rests on top of the power station. All right, you can see here that we got our 2 7.5 amp hour batteries that came with the power station hooked up to the power station, and we are charging them, and it's giving us an estimated time of 3 hours and 23 minutes until it is at full power. Now, battery number 4, you can see, is lit up solid. That one is fully charged. Battery number 1 is flashing because that is the one that is currently being charged. We charged battery number 4 on a rapid charger just to show you the difference between the two and how this machine indicates what battery is doing what and which one is fully charged, which one needs a charge. Now, these are the new generation batteries here. You can see it's not like the old ones where you just had a couple different flashing lights. This one actually has different indicators to tell you how much power the battery actually has in it. So that's very convenient for any of you that were waiting for something like that. So you can see this one has 1 bar there. So it's going to be a little while, 3 hours and 22 minutes to be exact. As we said before, this is a bit slower than the rapid charger. So if you have a rapid charger and you want to get those batteries charged up right away, that's going to be the way to go compared to just throwing on this Nexus and plugging it in and using it to charge the batteries. So here we threw in another 7.5 amp hour battery, and you can see it's one of the older style ones, and here's our indicator of what it's showing. We're still charging battery number 1, but battery number 1 and battery number 2 are about the same power level. So it's going to continue charging battery 1 for a little while, and then it'll skip back to battery number 2. But our total charge time yet is still 2 hours and 50 minutes until this entire system is completely fully charged and ready to work at peak runtime. Now, if you're in a hurry or an emergency pops up, you don't have to wait for these batteries to fully charge. All you have to do is unplug the charging cord, turn on the power station, and it'll give you the amount of time that it thinks you're going to be able to get out of these batteries at the current charge, operating whatever devices you have plugged into it. So you just won't get peak runtime out of it, but you'll still have power to use for quite a while. Yeah, and we'll show you more about that here in just a second. You can use any size amp hour batteries on the Ego Nexus Power Station, and it doesn't matter if it's the new generation or if it's some old ones, they'll all work on here. So we have 3 7.5 amp hour batteries on here. You can see that's what it's telling us now. That would be our runtime, 38 hours and 19 minutes. And you can see down here the charge of each one of the batteries. You can run 1 battery, 2 batteries, 3 batteries, 4 batteries, it doesn't matter. And you can run any size, as we were saying. So here's a 2.5 amp hour battery. This is one from a string trimmer. So we'll throw that on there. And you can see there, it's plugged in. And our time just increased. We're up to 42 hours and 38 minutes. And you can see that 2.5 amp hour battery is fully charged. So now we could also take another one of these 7.5s off of here. Oh, they got some weight to them. And you can see now our possible runtime there is down to 28 hours and 5 minutes. And you can see our 3 batteries, the configuration of them, and the charge left in them. So now we're going to throw on a 5.0 amp hour battery. And we'll watch that go from 28 hours and 5 minutes up to 37 hours, 42 minutes. And you can see that one was fully charged too. That's where we got our 5 amp hour battery located at in this system. And you can see now we got 3 of the old style batteries and 1 of the new generation batteries back here. We've got 2.5, a 5.0, and 2 7.5 amp hour batteries on there. You can mix and match them all you want. As long as they're the Ego Power Plus batteries, they'll work on here. All right, we took all of our batteries off the power station here. And we are going to put in 1 2.5 amp hour battery. Slide that in there. Doesn't matter which spot you put it in. Then we're going to come down here, hit the power, turn it on. And you can see there, it's just going through the startup screen. Now I dropped this down to 600 watts. That's the maximum we can use. You know, before it was up to 2,000 watts was the max we could have. So we're going to turn on our outlets here. And that should get us a better idea of what we actually have that we can actually use. That's more like it. 5 hours and 56 minutes of runtime at 600 watts. So 600 watts is a good bit. Pop this open here. And we'll plug in our DeWalt corded drill and see what happens. Now you can hear that was enough to kick on the fan there in the power station. And we dropped down pretty low there, just about a half an hour runtime. That'd be continuous of running that drill. And right, we got our 2 7.5 amp hour batteries that came with the Nexus power station connected there. And you can see it on the dash here. You can see the 2 batteries. They're both almost completely charged. One is fully charged, the other just missing a little bit out of it. And they're giving an estimated runtime of 87 hours, 47 minutes. We're able to use a peak wattage of 2,000 there. So we've got a cell phone plugged into 1 USB port. We have a laptop computer plugged into another one, and it's not charging yet because we don't have the outlets turned on. And we have a DeWalt drill here plugged into another outlet. So what we'll do is we'll turn on our USB ports, and there we go. We've got power coming through to the phone. You can see it up there in the corner now. It's charging, and our estimated runtime is down to 61 hours, and well, there it goes, down a little bit more. Sometimes it takes a little while to get down to where it thinks the sweet spot will be. But at any rate, we'll go ahead now and, as you saw, our laptop here, it is not charging yet. So we'll turn on our outlets, which is done right here. So you can see the indicator up there, the outlets are on, USB is on. Now we come over here, and there we go, down in the corner. We are charging the laptop, and it's saying that our max runtime now is down to about 10.5 hours. But you can see over here, our output, there's really nothing showing. So we're not drawing a lot of power. You can run this stuff for a good while now. And we'll even go ahead and we'll add in this light. Put it right there. And we'll turn it on. There we go. So now we got that light. It's got an LED bulb in it. It's freaking bright. It's blinding me. You can see that our operating time is down to just over 8 hours. Using the laptop, or charging the laptop, charging a cell phone, running this light, and you can see our output here is still not even registering because it's using that little. 7 hours is a long time. That's a good bit of time there to power all this stuff. So now what we'll do is we'll use some power in a hurry right here, and we'll turn on the DeWalt drill. So you can hear that was enough to kick the fan on down there. And now our operating time is coming back up. I gotta turn this light off, it's freaking blinding me. So that'll raise our operating time even a little bit higher. Now the other cool thing about this is, like, I just unplugged that light. Let me plug this back in again. If you're not using any of this stuff, you can just turn the outlets off and it'll turn it all off. See there? Now our fan just finally shut off. But now I killed the computer too. It's not charging anymore. And now the drill won't work. It just shuts all the outlets off at once when you do it this way. And you hit the button again, it's going to give power to all the outlets at once. Like that. And there we go. Same way with the USB. It's just all of them at once. It's all or nothing with the USB. Now the outlets you can turn off individually through the app using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connectivity. It's up to you, whatever your preference is there. But so we just mentioned using Wi-Fi again to turn on and off the outlets. To get started on that, all you gotta do is go in your manual and look it up, and it'll tell you, where to go to find the app based on what kind of device you're trying to use, as far as your phone, tablet, whatever. Once you download the app, you create an account, email, password, that kind of stuff. You know how that goes. Then you just have to go in, add your products, the Nexus power station, whatever else you got. You can add them all if you want. Then you're going to come back to this screen, and you're going to tap on the little Ego logo up there in the top corner, and it will bring you to this screen here. Then tap on Ego Connect, and you come to this screen here where you can tap Connect to connect your Ego power station to Wi-Fi. So what you do is follow the prompts on the screen, enter the information that they want, and once you're successfully connected, this is what you'll get. Now, once you're connected, you'll be able to scroll down through here and see the status of your Nexus power station. Here you can see it's charging. It has 2 hours and 49 minutes till it's fully charged. Right below that, it gives you the information about your outlets, but because this one is plugged in and charging, you can't use the outlets, and it gives you the unplug the Nexus to use outlets message there in the middle of your screen. Then you got the batteries, and it tells you what slots of batteries are plugged into, what size batteries they are. You can see here, these are all 7.5 amp hour. We got one at 99%, one at 54, and one at 58%. Now, when the power station is plugged in and being used to charge batteries, if you go into the app, you'll be able to see which battery it is currently charging, what percentage it's at, and that will be indicated by the white, as you see here, battery number 1, 38%, and the arrow pointing towards it increasing. Now, this is what you'll see after you unplug the charger cord. Instead of charge time, you'll see an actual run time up there. And you can see right now we have this plugged in, we're using it, and it's drawing 86 total watts of the 2000 possible. Underneath the run time, you'll see here we have our outlets and the outlet info. If you tap on that, it will give you a breakdown of each individual outlet and tell you how many watts are being drawn from each one. And if you tap on the outlet, you'll be able to turn off that specific outlet by itself while the other ones stay on and powered up. We'll show you a little bit more about that here in a second. Underneath that, you'll still have the information about your batteries. It'll tell you what the charge is, what size they are, same as before when it was charging up. One of the cool features about the Ego Nexus power station is that you can use Wi-Fi. You can actually control the outlets. You can see here we have this light that is running off of one outlet right here. That's an LED bulb in there. And we're going to get about 20 hours and 45 minutes of runtime out of this. So on the phone here, we have the app up, and you can see that right here it says outlet 1 using 16 watts of power right now. That would be the light right there it's using. So what we can do is we can just click on that outlet and it turns it off. Just like that. So we come back to here again, click on that outlet. There we go. A little bit of a delay there from the app to change, but you can see that's all there is to it. So outlet 1 is off. You can hear the generator or power station clicking, turning it back on. And there we go. Our outlet just updated on the app, and now it'll give us the reading of how many watts it's using. There we are. Pretty cool stuff. And you can do this from anywhere. You can, as long as you have this thing hooked up to the Wi-Fi, you can be driving down the road and turn the lights on at home or something, in your garage, whatever. Turn a fan on, whatever you got hooked up to those outlets. So now we'll give you some more information here that might help to answer some of the questions you have about the Ego Nexus power station. Okay, so you know that you can use the Ego Nexus power station to charge up to 4 Ego Power Plus batteries at one time. You can also use this power station to power 120 volt household appliances. But what you need to know is you can't do both at the same time, meaning you can either be charging the batteries or discharging the batteries, meaning using them to be converted to 120 volt AC power or using the USB ports. Also, if your Nexus power station is turned off, you cannot connect to it through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, meaning you can't hit a button on your phone to turn an outlet on or anything like that if the station itself is not powered on. The Ego Nexus power station is a pure sine wave inverter. That means that your electronic devices are really going to thank you when you plug them into this thing. The difference between a pure sine wave and a modified sine wave is the modified sine wave is exactly that. It's not true, it's not pure, it's modified. So the electrons are doing a bit of stop and go, kind of like you being in traffic in the city compared to rolling down a nice windy country road. You can see here, this is a nice picture of the difference between pure sine wave and blue and modified sine wave in the reddish pink color there. If you look closely at some of the instructions and manuals for some of your electronic devices, they will probably even say in there not to use with a modified sine wave inverter. This is why. You can see there's a big difference there between the path that the electrons take between modified and pure sine wave. This pulsation, this stop and go, and the modified sine wave can ruin electronics such as flat screen TVs, laptops, cell phones, refrigerators, stuff like that. The newer technology just isn't made to take that stop and go of the electrons and the surging of the power. As you know, on Ego Power equipment, you got a 5-year warranty on the tool, 3 years on the battery and the charger. So you're probably wondering now, this Nexus power station, because it charges 4 batteries at once, what's the warranty on it? Well, the good news is they consider this a tool. So 5-year warranty on the power station itself, 3 years on the batteries. So what is the Ego Nexus power station good for? Well, you can get 2,000 watts of continuous power out of it. So this is going to be great for going camping. The thing only weighs about 30 pounds without the battery, so it's not a whole lot to add to your gear, that you're taking with you. It's pretty small, so you keep it in a tent. If you're dry dock camping with your camper, this is a great thing to have because there's no noise, really, other than the fan. There's no emissions, no exhaust, no gas, no oil, no rotors to go bad, slip rings, nothing like that. So it's going to be more reliable than a regular generator. This is something that you're having a party, got a game of horseshoes going on, the sun goes down, set up some lights, why drag extension cords all over your yard or pull a vehicle around there and have it running? Just take this baby out there in the yard and plug the lights directly into it. Christmas lights, stuff like that. If you don't have outlets out there somewhere and you want to put up your Christmas displays, great way to do it here. Outdoor sporting events where you need some power for concession stand, for some lights, things like that. It's great. You go to fairs or shows or something like that, you need to charge your laptop, you need to set up a flat screen TV to play your videos and your ads. This is it right here. No noise. The people are going to be able to hear you talking. You're going to be able to have conversations and stuff without the annoyance of a generator running in the background. This is something great for all you guys that go hunting and fishing and stuff like that. You can take this baby out on the boat. You can take this thing up in your tree stand. If you got a cabin up in the woods with no power, charge up the batteries before you head up there. You're going to get quite a few hours of runtime out of the 7.5 amp hour batteries. Think if you had 4 of them in here, what you could do, power some lights, TV, radio, stuff like that, charge your phone up, charge your walkie-talkies up, whatever you got to use. This is great for construction workers. You're working in a new building, there's no power, you're using cordless tools, your cordless drill, your cordless impact, cordless sawzall, you need to charge the batteries, plug them into this baby. You saw there, we can get a good, 8 to 10 hours out of, just the regular low draw stuff. So you can charge up quite a few of your DeWalt, Milwaukee, and whatever other type of batteries you're using for your drills and stuff like that. And you don't have to worry about the exhaust fumes or anything, inside the building. The big thing that this is great for is you can have it inside. If there's a storm coming, you don't have to worry about spilling oil, spilling gas, exhaust fumes, nothing like that. You have it inside, you can have it sitting on the kitchen table, you can have it, in the living room next to the TV, whatever. The power goes out, you plug this stuff into it. Simple as that. If you're like me and you live out in the middle of bumfudge nowhere, then power goes out, you're going to have to go outside, start up the generator. Probably going to have to wait till the storm's over because you don't want the generator sitting outside running during the storm. This thing here, you'd already be done. You'd be able to run basic equipment, a fan if it's hot out, turn the TV on for the kids, charge your cell phone, things like that, real convenient. No noise, nothing to deal with. You can sleep through the night and have a fan blowing on you, stay nice and cool in the summertime, have your lights on, things like that, your alarm clock, you're good to go. This is also great for all you people that like to attend concerts and sporting events, pre-game tailgate parties and stuff like that. Plug a mini fridge into this thing. Plug a couple crock pots into it, cook some food. Have it sitting right there in the back of the truck, the back of the minivan, the back of your car, wherever, No hot exhaust to worry about jamming in there and burning your interior or anything like that. And because it's battery power, you're going to get that convenience of just pushing a button and there it goes. No worrying about the gas is still good. No worrying about draining the gas out every so often. No need to worry about the carburetor being clogged up. No need to worry about if mice build a nest in your air filter or something like that you get with gas-powered generators. This one here is easy to do. You don't have to pull a rope. You don't have to turn a key. You know, if you got a generator electric start, yeah, you turn a key and it fires up. If the battery's charged, the gas is good, if it has enough oil in it, all that stuff. All things you don't have to worry about with the Ego Nexus Power Station. You know, this is something that elderly people can use, disabled people can use, kids could use. It is way less complicated than trying to explain to somebody that's never operated a gas-powered generator how to start it, what to do to get it to run and get it to stay running. This is real simple. This is like basically putting batteries into a flashlight and turning it on. Simple as that. The power goes out, put the batteries in this, hit the button, it's on. So hopefully this video helps to answer a lot of the questions you might have had about the Ego Nexus Power Station. If you do still have questions, be sure to just leave them in the comment section of this video. We'll try to get them answered for you as quick as we can. You know, if you like what you saw in this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We constantly are testing out new products all the time, especially the Ego stuff, battery-powered stuff, because there's just so much of it out there now, and it's just so easy to use and so convenient. So we like to try to get our hands on it and get out there and use it to see what's good, what's not. This one right here, this is definitely a good product. We highly recommend this. So many things you could use this for, and it's kind of like a leaf blower. You don't realize how much you can use it until you actually have it in your possession. So thanks for watching. Like we said, be sure to subscribe to our channel and keep checking back because we're always putting out new material.